Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the greatest sports show nobody's ever heard of. Two Dads Drink. Or Drunk Sports Center, whatever you want to call it.
I forgot.
You forgot it already?
I forgot.
I forgot what episode we're on.
38?
38? That sounds about right. That's what happens when you take a week off, Sean.
Sorry. Guys, I've told you. I was having tooth work done, and I don't want to talk.
Yeah, he didn't want to hang out with me. It's
Sorry.
cool.
I went out and hung out with you the other night.
That's a couple days later.
One of the shittiest games we've watched all season.
I know.
And it was a playoff game.
I was so excited for that game. We're going to get into that, I'm sure. What is our unofficial sponsor of the week, Sean?
It is another version of Wiggle Whisky. This time is their seasonal Phil's Shadow.
Phil's Shadow. I think we're all pretty big Wiggle fans around here.
Well, you know, it's a PA thing.
Oh, that's got a real unique flavor to it.
Mm-hmm. They all do, actually, and I'll talk about it in my 1 minute because that's going to be a fun topic.
Yeah.
Because I got to do that Wiggle Whiskey tour.
That was good. Real good. And we have this other wonderful whiskey here for you, Sean, later in the...
You tried that last time. It didn't work.
Well, you told me we got to finish the bottle off now, so we're going to do that. Let's get into the news, Sean. It's, probably the biggest 2 weeks of football news we've had in a long time.
Black Monday.
Black Monday came. Some somewhat surprising names on the list, right?
So this Black Monday, there was 2 names that got gypped.
I think the biggest shock was David Culley, right?
Flores to me.
But Flores at least had a couple games.
He won 8 of 9 games to have a winning season.
David Culley did better than we thought he was going to do.
Just because we thought, that doesn't mean shit. He won 4 games.
Yeah, but he won 4 games without Deshaun Watson. And won me our Jets bet that you're not going to let me hold up to. So it's fine.
Oh, that's on your bet.
It's fine.
You're the one who adds little clauses to your deal.
You and Tony.
Too bad they backfired on you.
Using clauses against me.
Hey, they're your own clause. You created them.
Mike Zimmer? Not very surprised.
Not surprised.
He's been there a long time.
Nagy, not surprised.
Fanny Pack Fangio.
Not surprised.
Not surprising. I'd say Ryan Flores. Joe Judge was the other one.
Well, Judge is one of the 2 guys that I met when I said got screwed. They told him, we're keeping you. We're going to retain you.
There was a source close to the team that said that they are retaining Joe Judge, and then like a week later they fired him.
Well, not even a week. They fired him 2 days later after the GM decided to retire. And supposedly the cause came out that he wanted to have a say in who the next GM was. And that was the instantaneous, nope. See ya. We'll let the GM come in and pick his coach.
So out of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we'll add the Raiders. There's one more, and the Jaguars to the mix. Which is the best coaching job available? If you were the ultra popular defensive coordinator of the Dallas Cowboys, who would you choose? Because he's getting interviewed all over the place.
Denver, Las Vegas. Those 2 would be up on the high end of my list.
I think I would choose Chicago.
Chicago is another decent
good defense.
Spot.
They got a good running game, and they have a young, exciting rookie quarterback.
Which there's been rumors that they're okay with trading if the coach wants to get rid of him.
I wouldn't want to. I'd want to keep him.
Right. Why wouldn't you want a young?
He's the perfect cold weather quarterback. You know, like he's a good cold weather quarterback.
Why wouldn't you want a franchise guy?
Yeah, I don't know. Makes no sense to me.
Nope.
So I would take Chicago, and you would take the Raiders. Is what you're saying, or Broncos. You gotta choose one.
Probably go with the Raiders.
Raiders. What about David Carr's not there?
Well, that's part of it. Yeah, I mean, he is there. He's under contract, so.
But they're talking about he's probably going to get dealt in the offseason.
I hope he does, because I want to see him here in Pittsburgh.
That'd be a good little mix.
Wouldn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I put a post on Facebook the other day of and we'll go over the teams that got eliminated in our 5-minute round, but the teams that got eliminated, what they should do, like what they need, what they should do. And for your team, I said I'd be calling up Seattle.
Yeah.
I'd be calling up Seattle. What's it take?
Here's my catch. I don't think a 33-year-old Russell Wilson is worth what they're going to want.
I mean,
however, a Derek Carr, I think could be doable in terms of trade compensation and price point.
I think Russ Wilson is the epitome of what Pittsburgh looks for.
Yes, but Pittsburgh's not going to want to pay the
Tough,
draft picks.
mobile.
Yeah, but they're not going to want to pay the draft picks plus the $35 million they're going to have to pay him for the season.
I think it's great that he's only $35 million.
Oh, I'm not disagreeing, but I'm telling you, they're not going to want to give multiple first-round picks and then pay $35 million. Pittsburgh just doesn't do that. However, Derek Carr, who underline has been a great quarterback for 2 years now, and he's a winner. He has a lot of heart and fire behind him. Kind of fits what they would look for. He can move a little bit, and he has a decent arm. And he has weapons here.
I would much rather have Russ.
Oh, I'd much rather have Russ.
I would give Seattle anything they want. You want 4 first-round draft picks? You got it.
Would you replace Prescott with Russ? He didn't win the big one, did he?
Nah, I probably wouldn't. Not at this point. I've seen enough from Prescott now, even though, yes, they lost. We're going to get into it. It was not our year. We're going to get into it. I still have seen enough from Dak that I think that, I mean, like my early on issues with Dak was that his arm talent wasn't good enough. Mm-hmm. And now clearly that is not the problem with Dak.
Yeah, that's not his problem.
His arm talent is fine. He might have a little bit of a nervous, energy to him when he's getting blitzed, and they just need a better offensive line. But it just is what it is. But no, at this point, I mean, Dak's 4 or 5 years younger. He's already under contract for many, many years. I say you just bite the bullet and move forward with Dak. Although Russ is a proven winner.
He's won. He's already won.
Russ is a proven winner, so I could see Jerry making a move like that.
Right.
If they can make it so that there's not a huge cap penalty hit to move just straight up, or if he can do the straight up and get a pick from Seattle, I could see him do something.
I don't know if that's the case. Seattle may think Russell's better.
I don't know. I think the age is going to come into play there for sure.
Like I said, I agree with you. Pittsburgh, if they could pull off an Aaron Rodgers, a Russell Wilson, stepping down a little bit, a Derek Carr.
See, I want to do Aaron Rodgers. He's too old.
He's 2 years older than Russ.
No, Russ is 32.
No, Russ is 33.
Okay, and Aaron is 39.
He's 39. I thought he was
39
36
years old.
or
No,
5.
he's 1 year younger than Ben. He's turning 39.
Well, Ben was
like
39 this year, so.
Yeah, he's 38. He's turning 39 like a month, I think. I mean, don't get me wrong. Is he still talented? Yes.
Once again, I'm just telling you what I would look for if I was going that route.
Right. The only way I would do the Aaron Rodgers thing is if I was getting a deal. But we'll move on. The other news I want to talk about is I was a little up in the air, right? I was like, this whole extra week thing, is it just going to be like where most of the teams don't even try?
That was the best week of football I've seen in...
It was literally the best week of football.
Yes.
I had so much fun watching Week 18. Yeah. The Saturday games were meh, but then you get into Sunday and it's like the Jaguars beat the Colts.
Who called that?
You called that. I'll give you that. I thought it was no chance in hell. Jaguars beat the Colts. And the Steelers beat the Ravens.
How about that Sunday night game?
The Sunday night game. Everybody and their mother
Chargers,
was
Raiders.
up till 1 o'clock in the morning going, oh my God, it's going to tie. It's going to tie.
Yeah.
And I think it would have tied if the Chargers
weren't dumb and called a timeout.
God.
And the Raiders even said it. They asked the Raiders. Yeah, our mindset was to just kind of run the clock out. The Raiders said it
and then
until they called a timeout. And as soon as they called a timeout, they're like,
You could tell.
Fuck it.
You could tell. Rich, the head coach of the Raiders, he just had this puzzled look. Did they call timeout?
You realize we're trying to run the clock?
We're literally letting you be in the playoffs right now, and you just called timeout. And then he's like, "Well, fuck it. We're just gonna run it up the middle and see what we get." And they got 8 yards and put them in the field goal range.
Yeah. And at that point, they're like, "Well, once again, fuck it.
At that point, number one, they are division rivals.
Yeah.
So you're clearly going to want to knock your division rival out if you can without risking your position, right? Number two is you got to think about their seeding. They got
to play KC.
They would have to play Kansas City if they tied versus playing the Bengals. Look, I know the Bengals are hot right now. There's not a single team that would say all things equal, I want to play KC.
Right. Nobody wants to play KC.
Right. So that the Chargers were just stupid.
Yeah.
Just stupid.
Yep.
By the way, did you know Brandon Staley? That's the guy's name. I think the
Chargers coach.
Yeah, he's from Pittsburgh.
I didn't know that, but
yeah, he's somebody from Pittsburgh gave a shout out to him on Facebook. And he's like from Pittsburgh and knows a bunch of people from Pittsburgh. So I sent him a friend request. He hasn't accepted yet. His brother accepted though. His brother was tagged in. I friended both of them. His brother accepted, but he didn't accept. So Brandon, if you're listening, which you're not, feel free to hit me up on Facebook. Once you get fired next year, I'll sell you a Pittsburgh house.
Oh, jeez.
My company will sell you a Pittsburgh
We'll
house.
welcome you back to the Berg.
I don't really like showing houses that much anymore, so my company will sell you a house. Maybe not me specifically. Well, I guess it depends. How expensive a house are we talking?
There you go.
Oh boy. Anyways, best week of football.
Yeah.
All year.
Yeah, it was.
I mean,
it was the most fun.
The 49ers Rams, just craziness, and there was the Seattle Cardinals game. Like Seattle's like, fuck you, we're not letting you win and get a better seed in the playoffs. Like I couldn't believe it. It was so good. I could not move from the TV, and barely any of it had anything to do with my team, and I could not move from the TV.
No, there was a lot of good games that equaled out to something for playoff complications.
60 seconds on the clock. Sean, you got us ready?
Nope.
You want me to go first? Or should we talk about the Lions winning their final game first? Let's talk about the Lions first.
Let's go ahead. Ready, set, go.
So the Lions, okay, albeit they played a backup quarterback for a half, right?
Yep.
I can't believe Aaron Rodgers wanted to start, by the way, for whatever reason. It makes zero sense. But they played backup quarterback for half, although I think he's a good backup quarterback, right? Mm-hmm. Future of the team, probably, right? Yeah. Jordan Love. And they fought hard, man. They battled, and they won.
They didn't give up.
They didn't give up.
They did exactly what Motor City Dan told us they were going to do. If they're not going to give up.
That team easily could have said, you know what, let's just get the better draft pick. Let's mail it in.
However, here's the catch. If they took the better draft pick and they ended up with the first overall pick, they could have had a dream situation where they could have drafted Aiden Hutchinson, the Michigan-born player, back to Detroit.
But they didn't have a chance for the number one pick.
Didn't they, over Jacksonville?
Jacksonville, because of the tie with Pittsburgh, Jacksonville had the number one pick locked out. Anyways, Motor City, Dan Campbell, way to finish out the season, buddy. I think they won 3 out of their last 5?
Something like that.
And then they tied one with Pittsburgh in the mix too. So they went from being atrocious to being somewhat decent at the end. And even when they were atrocious, they weren't really that atrocious. They almost beat Baltimore. They had some really close games in there. So I'm excited for our team for next year, if they're even our team next year.
We'll see.
If we even have a show next year. Who fucking knows what's going to happen, right?
Season 2, should we, guys? What do you think?
Should we?
Is there a black line? Oh, that's the box over our face.
Yeah, that's the box. It's like watching us move. So we got a new camera. We're testing out the new equipment. And, so that's more, just so you know. If you see a little bit better quality, that's what it is.
It's literally throwing me off. It makes where my glasses are, the black line is running across my glasses, and it's just throwing me off.
Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, damn it.
Sean, you want me to go first, or you go?
I'm good.
Okay, go ahead.
So, throughout the time we haven't been here on the show, my wife and me decided we were going to do date nights for Christmas. Part of my date night gift was going to Wiggle Whisky and doing a Wiggle Whisky tour, which is where you see the nice whiskey coming from. Man, some of the shit I found out about whiskey. Do you know why... Well, this isn't necessarily cheap whiskey, but when we get the cheap bottles, why that's stuff that gives you headaches?
I have no idea.
So they have a thing called heads in there, which is basically the alcohol that's in your hand sanitizers. They put it in the whiskey, which is legal, but only so much of it.
Right.
The whiskeys that are cheap, put to the max that they can go. The nicer whiskeys, withdrawal, so you get more flavor.
So they have to put it in there for alcohol content, right?
Correct.
Okay.
But there's only so much, and the more they pull out, the better the flavoring is. Which is the reason why, if we say me and you sat here and drank this whole bottle, there's a definite chance that we walk out of here the next day and not have a headache, or not have any sorts of signs like a hangover.
It makes sense because I've definitely been blasted off some high end whiskey.
Yep.
And felt fine.
The next day. That's why. That's legit why the cheaper whiskeys put more of them in. which is why when you drink them, you feel sick the next day.
But they have similar alcohol content, so how's that even?
It's the parts of the alcohol that's in there. Because there's 4 different parts of alcohol that goes into a whiskey. The heads, which is kind of, if you put too much, can be poisonous. There's the wheats, which is what we taste, the flavor we get from it. What's the third one? There's a third one that, once again, it's almost a poisonous if you have too much of it.
So you're way more educated than now on whiskey than you were previously.
Yeah.
What's your date night for your wife?
Well, it was supposed to be twist and paint and twist.
Painting with a twist?
Yep, and she decided she didn't want to do that, so I have to change it up.
I mean, can she change the gift that you gave her?
Yeah. I thought she wanted to, and she didn't want to, so it is what it is.
I can see you painting with a twist. You seem like the painting type.
I do art. I draw, so
that's what I'm saying. Like,
I do all the social media crap. Right. So
I bet you'd be pretty good at it. Well, you'll have to let me know what that is. I'm intrigued.
Yeah, I will.
It's a cool idea. Cool concept. All right, my 60 seconds.
Ready, set, go.
Yes, it is not our year. The Dallas Cowboys laid a dud, which I kind of was telling people all week. I'm pretty sure I told you they were either going to blow them out or they were going to lose, right? There was no in between, in my opinion, right? So as soon as I saw them get it out to the 10-0 lead and we had to battle back, I kind of figured it wasn't going to be good for us. However, Ian made a blunder. And I have to apologize to the Dallas Cowboys. So even through like the 3-5-11 seasons under Dave Campo, I never turn a football game off. I watch till the very bitter end. I mean, if they're kneeling, okay, I'll turn off, whatever. Debo goes around the corner, picks up the first down at the end. All they got to do is kneel it out. I turn the TV off. It was challenged and brought back in 4th down. The Cowboys got the ball back. If they would have won, I would have been absolutely sick to my stomach.
Question is, would you not have watched any more games if they would have came back and won after you turned it off?
Yeah, I would. I still would have watched it. I'm always going to watch. And they almost did. Like they came very close. I would have, instead of doing the quarterback draw thing because I went back and watched the highlights because I didn't see it live. I would have thrown 2 or 3 Hail Marys from the 40-yard line, right? Like you could get a pass interference, you get lucky and catch the ball, like the whole draw, and then like now you got 1 shot from the 25,
right?
Which I guess it worked for Herbert, but like I don't know.
Herbert's a different species.
I just don't understand. But I honestly I have to give my wife props. My wife, I was turning it off, and she's like, "You don't know that it's over." I was like, "There's a minute left. They just got a first down. We're out of time. No, it's over." And I turned the TV off, and then it was challenged and brought back, right? So I learned a valuable lesson, and I felt like a horrible fan for turning off the TV, even though I shouldn't feel like a horrible fan because my team constantly lets me down over and over again. They ruined it. The Cowboys ruined it. This was our year. Eminem at the halftime show. This is our year. But anyways, good luck 49ers fans. I wish you the best. I hope they knock out the Packers, who was my Super Bowl pick, because I fucking hate the Packers. So
Me too, because I want to see my Super Bowl pick Rams make it.
Right, exactly. Although I hate the Rams too. Honestly,
I like Stafford.
Okay.
All those teams, I like Stafford. That's why I'm rooting for the
Let me lay it
Rams.
out to you here, okay? I hate the 49ers. I really do hate the 49ers. Legacy, and they're tied with the Cowboys, 5 Super Bowls apiece. I don't want them to get number 6. I hate Aaron Rodgers, like, to a passion, right? Like, hate Aaron Rodgers. I hate Sean McVay. He just annoys me. He's too pretty. He annoys me, right?
He fits that squad, though. He fits that squad.
Everybody loves Sean McVay. He's the fucking genius. No,
he fits that squad. So,
honestly, I'm cheering for the Bucs. Fuck it. I want Tom Brady to get number 8. Nobody will ever beat. Nobody will beat 7. But
no,
I'm going to cheer for.
No individual player will ever, or quarterback. Let me correct this: quarterback will ever beat.
I don't even
7.
think player.
Probably not, but
You'd have to literally like sell out and just switch teams every year to who you think's going to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and you also have to kind of hope a dynasty arises.
Maybe a Mahomes type of guy. Right?
He's winning early, so he's probably going to be in the Super Bowl again this year.
But I don't hate Tom Brady though. Like,
what is this? Would this be Mahomes' third Super Bowl or fourth?
I don't know. Well, it would be his second winning Super Bowl
If he wins,
Yeah.
right. I'm just
It'd be
thinking
his
how many
third
he's
total.
been in.
Yeah, third total. He won one, lost one.
Okay. Did he? Let's see. I thought he lost his first one. That's why I thought he had three
No,
already.
he won his first one.
Okay.
He lost the AFC Championship game.
That could be what I'm thinking.
So, anyways, yeah, I'm probably going to cheer for the Bucs from here on out on the NFC, even though I chose the Packers to go to the Super Bowl.
I'm going to stick with my teams, Chiefs and the Rams.
Yeah. Anyways, that's my 60 seconds. Way longer than 60
I was going to say,
seconds.
we got about 3 minutes there, maybe 4. It's all right, though.
That's all right. I got to talk misery for me, and now I get to punish my best friend. My best buddy here, Sean. He lost. You chose
I don't even know. It's been 2 weeks.
Ben Roethlisberger to score over 20 fantasy points.
Which I told you I was going to expecting to lose.
Well, it was actually 21, and I downgraded it to 20, and you still lost. And,
Which is okay.
I don't even remember who I chose to win, but it did win.
Like I said, I went into it expecting to lose. I went into it saying I was taking him because of it being the last game. So, here we go. Here's to you, Ben.
Ben's retirement party would have been a lot better going out with a win against the Ravens.
He got it against the Ravens.
Yeah, and then he got the doors blown off him against the Chiefs.
It would have been great for him to win that game and then the tie at the end of the Sunday night game.
Yeah.
Thank you for 18 years, multiple Super Bowls, and pretty much everything else you've done at your career here.
I mean, are we going to talk about allegedly done in his career? Or?
Wow. Don't get jealous.
I mean, hey, I may be a little bit of a hater towards the Steelers, but Ben had a hell of a career. You got to give him that. Like, one hell of a career. I mean, any quarterback coming in the NFL, if you told them they were going to have 70,000 passing yards and touchdowns. And
So you already know my opinion here. First ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah, no doubt.
He has
100%.
multiple Super Bowls. He has multiple
100%.
passing
There's
records.
been worse quarterbacks that were first ballot Hall of Fame.
That's my point. Well, there was a thing on Bleacher Report saying, first ballot Hall of Famer, and 23% said he won't get into the Hall of Fame.
At all?
At all.
Oh, that's a bunch of horse.
70
Eli Manning's going to get it, or is already, or going
No,
to
he's
get
not
it.
in yet. Is Peyton in yet?
Yes, Peyton was the first ballot.
I know he's a first
It
ballot.
was
I
this
just didn't know
year.
if it was
It was this year. Real quick though, before we move on, because the Rams Cardinals game, which we're going to get into, was atrocious. But I for the first time, I don't know why I haven't done it all year. Monday
What?
Night Football. Watch the Peyton Eli.
Oh, they're good.
Probably because I hate Eli, but it was really entertaining. Like, it was not play-by-play at all. Like, they were not trying to play-by-play.
No, they're just entertaining.
They were just literally BSing about football while watching the game.
And then they had
like,
The Rock on. Who else they have on?
They had Russell Wilson on. They had The Rock on. They had somebody else in the first quarter. I mean, it was just super entertaining. And I was like, wow, this is like... I think ESPN should scrap Monday Night Football and go to Peyton and Eli Monday Night Football.
Well, that was the goal. And the only reason they didn't do that off the bat this year was because Peyton and Eli sat there and said, well, what if this sucks? We don't want to hurt our own.
And it's them over
image.
Zoom. Like, think of how much money ESPN would save by not sending them everywhere and doing all this stuff, right? But yeah, it was super entertaining. I really liked it.
I don't. So that's the first you've watched it?
First, I watched it.
Oh my God, Peyton's been. You have to watch some YouTube clips of it then.
I mean, I've seen some clips of him like putting helmets on.
He's
and
been
doing-
hilarious, both of them, because there's episodes where you could tell Eli's like, "Shit, my brother's been entertaining. I got to do something," and he goes and does something.
I mean, just hearing them talk football is really cool, and how like you could tell that they've played the game because they were so engulfed in like when Kyler Murray he threw up this like wild interception at the end zone. You probably saw it. And like Peyton's like, oh no, like he's like freaking out. He's like, why did you do that? Just
Right.
take the safety. Like it's way better, you know. Like it was
My
great.
favorite was The Rock, or Dwayne Johnson, telling Peyton Manning, "I will come there and give you a rock bottom."
How about The Rock having a $31 million T-Rex head in his office?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was on the TV with him. He had a T-Rex head over his left shoulder.
Well, his pre-boss Vince McMahon actually has an actual T-Rex skull on his office.
Well, I wonder if he bought it from him because he.
No, he still has it. They posted it.
Yeah, it was a $31 million he spent on it.
I'm not surprised those guys who have that kind of money and have that kind of energy.
You know you're rich when you buy a $31 million skull to be in your office.
Well, think about that. A T-Rex, one of the most vicious predators of all time, if not the most vicious predator of all time. You walk into your office and you're a salesperson, you get this.
Yep.
Think about that. You walk into your office and you see that hanging on your wall. We put the motivational quotes all over the wall. Imagine walking into an actual T-Rex head looking at you.
It'd be pretty crazy.
Right?
Okay, so we're switching up the bets for the rest of the playoffs.
Yep.
And we are going to pick, we did not do it last week because we weren't here.
Okay.
We are going to pick the divisional round of the playoffs. And we're just doing straight up. Sean refuses to do points.
I'm not doing points.
He's not doing points, he refuses. So we're going to do straight up. First game on the docket.
Should we do our shots before we do this?
No, that's the end of the...
I know it is, but...
No, we're saving the shots.
I'm already
for
3
the
shots in at this point.
No, we're saving the shots. First game on the docket, probably the best one out of all of them. Buffalo versus Kansas City in Kansas City.
Well, KC's my pick for the Super Bowl, so I'm going to stick with my pick and go with KC.
I, too, am going to go with KC.
Sorry, Dave, by the way. Sorry.
So, Ian...
We should go to Dave's bar for that game if that's a Saturday night.
KC. We should.
Dave already ran his mouth to you enough in the last game.
We should go to this. I think it is Saturday night, isn't it?
And this one's in KC. It's not in that Buffalo weather.
Tennessee, or Cincy at Tennessee.
Told you earlier, I'm going with Cincinnati. They're just too hot right now as a team.
God, it's such a close. I think it's a 3-point game, and I like Cincy with the points. I don't like Cincy straight up.
Okay.
Derrick Henry's back.
Then take Tennessee.
I'm taking Tennessee. So Ian takes Tennessee. Sean takes Cincy.
At least we know who...
One of us will win.
Right. One of us is going the opposite direction here.
Packers versus 49ers.
I'm going with the Packers.
Fuck, I'm going with the Packers.
They're your pick anyways.
I want to choose the 49ers there, but like I just don't see it.
And you already know my pick on this next one, so...
We're splitting it then. If you're going Rams, I'm going Bucks.
Okay, well, I'm going Rams, so...
You're going Rams, I'm going Bucks. Oops, this one's over here.
I don't think Brady has enough firepower left to get past the Rams' firepower that I saw in week for playoff wildcard playoff football.
I think Arizona just dropped it dead.
I think there's just too much firepower.
And
And
Tampa's
OBJ showed
defense,
up.
Tampa's defense is way better than Arizona's.
Yeah, but you're telling me not St. Louis, LA doesn't have a good defense, which they do.
They do.
Which they don't have offensive weapons, which they do. And they actually just got Cam Akers back. And literally got, dude, week that he's finally starting again, he does 95 yards.
Here's what's not going to happen. Tom Brady is not going to gift them.
Oh, it's not going to be a
14
gift
points.
game. No, it's not going to be a gift game.
Because Kyler Murray gifted them 14 points.
Cool. And that's fine, but it's not going to be a gift game. But once again, at the end of the day, there's just too much in LA. Plus, they get to go play at home like they did like Tampa did last year.
So to recap our bets, we both take KC. We split Tennessee, Cincy. You take Cincy, I take Tennessee.
So technically, we could tie. Technically,
we both take the Pack, and we split the Rams and Bucks.
So technically, we could tie, or I can go 4-0
Well,
this
if we
week.
tie, we both do a punishment shot.
Right.
And if one of us wins, the other one does 2 punishment shots.
Right.
So that's what it is. All right, 5 minutes on the clock for our wild card round. We're going to talk about the wild card round now. We talked about the amazing Week 18, which I think was better than the wild card round.
Ready?
Yep.
Set. Go.
Do you agree with that? Week
What?
18 better than wild card round?
Yeah.
100%, right?
There's certain games of interest in the wild card weekend, but most of the games were just kind of duds. Week
Okay.
18 had a lot of fun and entertainment to it.
The best game was probably the first game in the wild card round, which is Cincy LV Las
It
Vegas.
wasn't the first. No, I guess since
That was the first game. Start recording again?
And it thinks we pause because we always take so many pauses on our break time here.
And we're back. So, anyways, our camera just randomly decided to turn off on us. We don't know if it has like a random timer in there.
It never happened, and we just hit the resume button.
Yeah, we'll have to check the settings. Maybe there's like a 30 or 45 minute off timer. I don't know.
Maybe.
Anyways, 100% think that we both thought it was going to be a close game and a good game. Blowout in Buffalo.
It was not a good game.
And we watched it with your boy, who's a Bills fan, and he was being ultra obnoxious.
I don't think he was being that obnoxious, other than his love for Josh Allen.
Oh, the
other guy sitting next to you in the bar. Different story. He was obnoxious.
His love for Josh Allen might be more than my love for Romo. I'm just gonna put that out there.
There's a possibility there.
Yeah, it definitely seems like that. Okay, going into Sunday,
Mm-hmm.
Bucks blow out the Eagles. Did we think anything else was gonna happen there?
I didn't know if it was going to be a blowout. The Eagles' defense hasn't been bad this year, and the Bucks have lost a lot of weapons recently.
Jalen Hurts is just straight bad.
I don't know if he's bad or
he's just bad. He's bad. When he faces good teams, he just chokes, and he's a one-trick pony. And you stop the one trick, he's done.
Hey, well, the Eagles have 3 first-round picks. Go make a move.
I think they should. I think they should go get a quarterback. Trade 2 or 3 of your first-rounders up to get Pickett or something. I guess.
Go get a move. Don't do that. Go get. If you think you're that close, go get Russell. Go get Aaron Rodgers. You have enough draft first-round picks to be able to make a move. Go get Deshaun Watson. You have once again enough. First, I'll be honest with you, Deshaun Watson's a perfect guy if you're going to spend money on if he's able to play.
Yeah.
He's a great guy to get.
Cowboys 49ers probably the second best game. Some people might even say it's the best game.
Just the comeback.
I can't say that. Right?
Just the comeback part of it made it interesting.
It made it interesting. And then we had the blowout that ended Ben's career. Really didn't think anything of that.
Yeah.
Although I will say, as a non-Steelers fan, when TJ scored the touchdown, we're talking like almost in the second quarter at this point. It's 7-0. Like they just shut down KC.
Yeah.
There was just a hair of me that went, are the Steelers going to pull this shit off again? Like they're just going to randomly like just shut down a team in the playoffs and like go on a run? Like,
so I do have to call this out because we're about to get buzzard here in a second.
We are going to get buzzard.
But I have to call this out. I know you love your boy Micah. But you cannot tell me there's a defensive player that didn't make more of a difference than TJ Watt this year.
Well, okay. First time, yeah, TJ's a beast. He's a man among boys. I'm not trying to downplay what TJ did. However, you have to also take into consideration, number one, Micah's a rookie.
And he'll get his defensive rookie of the year, which I agree.
Number two, he probably single-handedly or was one of the main factors in turning around one of the worst defenses in NFL history,
guys,
making them a top 10 defense.
We'll take some clips from the beginning episodes at the beginning of the season where all he would talk about was Diggs.
Diggs was awesome. Yeah, Diggs was awesome.
Guess what? When you talk about the Steelers, you don't talk about any of the other defenders. You talk about TJ Watt. Don't get me wrong, we have a Cam Hayward, which is a great defensive player. We have a Minka Fitzpatrick, which is a great... Bush has been sucky this year. Don't get me wrong, do I think he has more talent? He's shown it already. I think he has more talent. I think he's still getting back from his injury. However, when it comes to this team, you look at the Steelers are TJ Watt at this point. Every game that he plays, he is the difference maker. He is the game changer. There's not... I apologize because I appreciate Micah Parsons.
Micah Parsons.
I appreciate him, what he's done for your team. But at the moment, if TJ Watt does not win that Defensive Player of the Year award, I agree with most of the Steelers defense saying that this is rigged. Because for 3 years now, that guy's either been the best defensive player or the second best, and every year he gets number 2.
I just like how you and I watched a draft where my team passed on him to draft Taco Charlton, and now both of them are on your fucking team. How does that fucking happen?
Because you guys suck at drafting.
No, we actually don't. I mean, if you go back, that was the one miss we made over the last 10 years.
Well, thanks for making that miss, because that miss moved him to us.
It was a fit, right? Like, TJ is known to be a 3-4 outside linebacker.
Oh, he fits us perfectly.
But I think you put his hand on the ground, he's going to be just as good, right?
Oh, his mentality. There's nothing going to stop him. He's a ferocious player like his brother, JJ. And can you imagine if in the offseason we ended up bringing JJ in? How people kept rumoring that? If we had JJ and TJ on that side, one on the end, one on the linebacker spot.
And then you have Derek. Just throw Derek on the line, too. Just make it a Watt Brothers line.
Right?
Hey,
well, no. If you threw JJ on one side, and you threw Cam Hayward on the other side, and then you had TJ behind them coming in.
Yeah.
If Bush can get his shit together.
Well, anyways.
Sorry.
No, I mean, it's just cool. I get it. And TJ, but there was that, like, inkling where, like, Steelers fans, non-Steelers fans, you went, are they really gonna figure out a way to pull this off?
There was the hope, and it was purely a Ben hope. So for any Ben hater
it wasn't hope for me. I was literally like, are they seriously gonna fucking pull this off? Like,
okay. So here's the deal. For any Ben hater out there, which I've said it numerous times on the show, personally, I think Ben has proven to be a scumbag of a person, personally. Mm-hmm. And I've met him a few times. I've seen some of the things he's done. However, professionally, as a football player, what else can I do? Dude, you've been in the league 18 years. You've had a Hall of Fame career, a first ballot Hall of Fame career. There's nothing else I can say that's legit.
I mean, if you want to nitpick, you probably could, but no, like he's a Hall of Famer, first ballot Hall of Famer.
Professionally, as an NFL player, he is a first ballot Hall of Famer. Right. And towards the end there, if everything is true, how he changed his life, went more Christian, the marriage, the kids, all that stuff is all real, which it looks like it is, the way everything's portrayed. Congratulations. You changed yourself as a person to a better person. You had a great Hall of Fame career. Your team seems to love you. I don't know if you've seen all the tweets and everything NFL players have said about Ben.
Even AB and Bell are coming out.
What did you see at the end of it? Russell Wilson tweeted out, "Congratulations, Big Ben, #legend." Somebody tweeted, one of the other quarterbacks.
He's the best quarterback in Steelers history, right?
I mean, Bradshaw. People will tell you Bradshaw, but I think Ben.
Line up the stats, bro.
Well, you can't. You know that. You know that.
I just say Bradshaw had like almost as many interceptions. I'm not going to say Bradshaw. I personally can't. I've never seen him play. I've only seen video of him play. Ben, I've watched since day one. I prayed the Steelers drafted him. To be honest with you, you know Sean Bevan. You could ask him. I was praying the Steelers drafted Ben. Because I heard the Phillip Rivers, and I watched Ben in Miami of Ohio, and I prayed. I'm like, please draft this guy. I've seen his games, his college games. He has a big arm. He makes plays. Everything you've seen in his career. And I'm sorry, I know I'm taking a minute here, but this is the last time we're really going to be able to do this because... when he goes in the Hall of Fame, we can do it.
I will talk again about him at that point, but...
I mean, you can make the argument that Phil Rivers would have been very good on the Pittsburgh Steelers, too.
Yeah, but I wasn't sold at that time.
Right.
Me at that time saw Ben play, saw Phillip Rivers play. Oh, no. Yet he was the number one guy that year.
Yes, but then the Phil and Eli trade.
They flipped that. They flipped that because, what's it called? Eli didn't want to play in San Diego at the time.
Which, why? Why would you not want to play in San Diego?
He wanted to play in New York because his dad, because Archie Manning said that's where you should be.
0 cents. Anyway, so then the last playoff game was the first ever Monday Night Football playoff game. I was super excited. I was like,
"Oh, that was awesome! That was awesome that they had a Monday Night Football game for playoffs."
And on paper, it's a great game.
Is it? By the way, is there a Monday night game for this week?
No,
I didn't think so. I didn't think I saw that, but
2 Saturday, 2 Sunday.
That's what I thought, but
I mean, on paper, great fucking game, right? Like these two battled out twice this year. One the other, and then like the Cardinals just dud.
Either that or LA figured it out when it comes to playoff time, and they're ready to roll. One or the other.
I don't know. It was pathetic, though.
Once again, when I look at LA, I just see Donald, Ramsey on the one side, Von Miller now on the one side of the ball. I see OBJ, Cooper Kupp, Stafford, Higbee, Cam Akers is back now.
And Kyler Murray just looked bad. He just looked straight bad.
He did. There was a joke coming out that at halftime he was going to retire and go play baseball since he got drafted.
I saw that.
So, and I like Kyler Murray. You know my deal. I enjoy him. I think he's in Madden football. But we all know the deal. Madden football players doesn't necessarily win Super Bowls.
Fantasy football players don't win championships.
Nope. Guys, me and you have talked about Stafford for years as one of the most underrated quarterbacks out there. And I think he is. I'll be honest with you. The old Lions, he's the only reason I would have ever rooted for them. Because he was just him, his personality, the way he wanted to win, his fire and desire. He has it.
That was fun listening to Peyton talk about, like, because he went 0-3 his first three playoff games, and the pressure involved, and that was cool. The other unique thing that happened Wild Card Weekend is, for some weird reason, the Cowboys-Niners game was on CBS.
Yeah, I remember you telling me about that.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Although I enjoyed watching. Although I really think Romo enjoys when Dak struggles. I just want to throw it out there. It just seems like that. Maybe it's me reading too far into it.
Maybe it's you wanting him to, and you enjoy it a little bit.
In the Bucs game, right? The Bucs are blowing out Philly. It's like 31-0 or something like that at the time. And Aikman and Buck are calling the game, and they're talking about the games coming up. And Aikman was legit salty.
I heard about this. Yeah,
he was just like. Yeah, well, I mean, some people just get lucky and get to call the Cowboys-49ers game, you know? We get stuck here calling a blowout, Buck, you know? Like, he was legit salty. It was one of the most entertaining things.
I heard he was also salty about the Cowboys in general, saying they had a bad game plan, blah, blah, blah. And he was...
Hey, come coach, Aikman. Stop talking, then come coach. Like, run your mouth, come do it, you know?
He doesn't do that. He does TV. But you hear, I actually saw this right before we started the show. Sean Payton is considering retiring to do TV.
I wouldn't surprise me. He's coached for a long time.
He has in New Orleans, and they don't have a quarterback. He's about to go through that little downward spiral.
Yeah.
Because I hear Mike Thomas doesn't want to return to New Orleans either this year, which means they have Kamara left.
That's it. Yeah, there's nothing. Not
much else going on there. Defense wasn't bad, actually.
Yeah, not bad. They almost made the playoffs.
Don't get me wrong. We'll do a early draft preview someday here.
Yeah, I think we talk about when the Super Bowl's over, we're going to take a little break for a little bit.
Yeah, we're going to take a few weeks.
And we'll reconvene for probably the draft, I would guess.
No, we should be convened before the draft to do a pre-draft, how we did the draft last year on the show.
Do like a pre-draft and then a draft special, and then we'll start, maybe do a training camp. And
I think we also need to catch up for the Stanley Cup and the NBA Finals and things like that.
Whenever we feel like it at that point. The off season's whenever the hell we want to show.
Yeah, we are going to cut this off at the end of season 1. How you see us put episode 1, season 1, things like that. We are going to cut season 1 off and go to season 2.
And there might be some off season. We'll just call it the off season where we just randomly get together and talk about bullshit.
And maybe we'll do shorts.
Maybe a movie.
Maybe we'll do a 60-second short.
Maybe a short. Maybe a movie. Who knows? You never know. Anyways, Kids Corner.
Kids Corner. Jeez, we talked about so much other shit that I completely forgot to even think about Kids Corner.
I know. You want me to go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
So, my son hasn't been like this for a long time. But the last 2 weeks or so, he's been a daddy's boy. He's been asking for me to sing him songs before bed, because we always sing our kids songs before bed. He's been a little bit more of a daddy's boy. But I will say, so that was cool. I like that and all. But man, that little fucking dickhead. I literally had to ground him to his room because he just would not stop talking shit during the Cowboys game. I was like, no, look, you don't have to be a Cowboys fan, but you do not have the right to sit here and insult my team and we're getting our ass kicked in the playoffs. Get the fuck upstairs. I threw him upstairs. Get out of here. So we've had a good stretch where he's even snuggled me a little bit. We watched a movie together. He's wanted me to sing to him a lot, and then Sunday he just. You little fucking asshole.
He set you up. He was setting you up.
Maybe
he was setting you up. He was setting you up.
Maybe he was sweetening me.
Yeah, he was setting you up.
It was the opposite of Sour Patch Kids, where they're first are sour, then they're sweet. He was being sweet just to be fucking sour.
Yeah, he was setting you up. He was making you think, oh man.
Dickhead, man.
He's been doing it for weeks. So you've been sending me the pictures of him with his cowboy jersey on, things like that. He's been sending you up for weeks, waiting for this. What if he went to the Super Bowl and he waited till the Super Bowl Sunday and did it to you?
So then, I listen to Bill Simmons every Monday morning, right?
Yeah.
During football season, that's it. Where him and Cousin Sal, who's a Cowboys fan. So Bill Simmons, Pats fan, Cousin Sal, Cowboys fan. They talk about what happened, and they guess the lines for the following week. I like that episode. It's my Monday morning routine during football season. Cousin Sal was like, I feel like I've ruined my kids because I've grown them up to be Cowboys fans, and now they're stuck dealing with this fucking loser of a team that just gets in the playoffs to get your hopes up, and then they just fucking shit the bed, He's like, my kids don't know what glory is. They know what mediocrity is, you know. So maybe it's a good thing that my son's going to grow up to be a Steeler fan. Who knows? I don't know what to say anymore. What do you want? I think he's a Cowboys fan again, and then he starts cheering for the 49ers right in front of me. Like, yeah. That's my kid's goal.
So that being said, a little bit of story. So we all know how Ollie is the mom's boy, Grayson is the dad's boy. You've seen it for the most part. However, in the recent week, Ollie is now bedtime. Usually he had Sam lay him down at bed. Mom's time. The last week, who's laying you down, mom or dad? Dad. Ben's starting to roll around to a daddy's boy a little bit. I just brought that up just because of what you just said.
Yeah. Maybe he's buttering you up for something.
Grayson hasn't changed. Grayson is still a daddy's boy.
Remember, out of the two, he's more like Roman than Grayson is.
Oh, I know. We've seen Ollie. Ollie's a whack. Love him, but he's a whack.
I love my son too, but he's a little asshole.
I won't call my son that, but he's a whack. I love him to death. He's so sweet.
At some point, you probably will call him an asshole.
There's a possibility. Nonetheless, so for Grayson, so we actually went to Boyce Park the other day, which is out in Penn Hills area, Monroeville area. Nice park, beautiful park, big park. Have you ever been there?
No.
So they do snow tubing. They have this giant hill. They have generators to create the snow and ice and all that stuff. They have skiing there too, actually, and snowboarding. So we took Grayson out there. And it's freezing. This is the day the 10 inches of snow came. This is hours prior to that.
Right.
So it's already cold. It's already windy. By the time this ends, which is 5 o'clock, is when the snow is starting to roll in. So it's me, Callie, Grayson, Sam, Ralph, and my mom. And man, we're going up this hill. Ralph calls it quits first. Too cold. Eventually calls it quits. Me and Callie are next. Grayson looks at us and tells us, "What are you guys doing? It's not cold out. I'm not cold." He keeps Sam out there the whole 2.5 hours, going up and down this hill, going up and down, tubing down this hill. We get done. He's like, "I'm not cold."
To be young again.
Right?
To be young.
Right? I looked, I'm like an hour in, I'm like, "Can we call it quits? Can we go?" I'm freezing. My toes are cold. And I have big boots on. We had snow pants on, everything. I'm like, I'm going to go into my nice warm truck. I'll get it started right now. I'll be up here.
I used to wear shorts when I was a kid. Now it's 60 degrees and I'm cold. So.
Man, it's just, you know me. I love my kids. I know you do too, the whole thing. But I see them and I'm like, man, that's just incredible. Watching him and his excitement and his passion to just go and do things. By the way, I finally asked Grayson, "Who's your favorite sports team?" And you know me, I'm a Penguin fan first.
Yeah.
He looks back and says, "Let's go Steelers." At least it's a Pittsburgh team. All right.
All it takes is one little asshole at school, and that could change real quick.
But I looked at Grayson and I'm like, "Grayson, do remember this is a Penguin household. Steelers are good to root for, but this is a Penguin household." He's like, "Okay, Dad." And then he's like, "Let's go Pens." Grayson's Grayson's a daddy's boy. He wasn't big enough. They had certain height restrictions. Because you weren't the kids. Grayson was able to go in the tube by himself. Ollie wouldn't.
All right,
Cheers.
Wiggle.
Deuces.
Until next time. Ooh, God. It was worse the second time around.
Yeah.
It was good the first time.
Oh.